What's going on, everybody? Let's get down to business. Today is a great day. Mars Day with Mark. In the dark. Magical times are approaching, and I'm about to tell you about this. I want you to pretend it's not Thanksgiving because your eyes are about to feast on the most beautiful chart you've ever seen. If you're unfamiliar with this platform, this channel, this series, this is our weekly astrology breakdown, where we cover the astrology of the week ahead. Welcome to the fucking future, Fire Family. How are you doing? Let me know in the chat how your week has been, because we're down for a great time with the sun in Pisces. Couple highlights for this week. The sun moves into Pisces. Let me circle these things as I talk about them. Feast your eyes, behold. And if you're new to astrology and all this stuff sounds like jargon or a bunch of bullshit or a bunch of Sigma Freud bull fuckery, just go ahead and hit that link in the description and go grab Simplified Astrology. And while you're down pressing buttons, you might as well leave a like or a subscribe or a dislike or leave me some hate mail or report my video or some shit like that. I don't really care. Just do interact with this, please. Anyway, the sun is in Pisces. We have about 30 days of Pisces. Get excited. The moon is waning and we're going to have a last quarter moon this week. We've got Mercury squaring up with Jupiter this week. We have Mercury making a conjunction to Saturn this week. Venus is going to sextile Jupiter and make a semi-square with Uranus. We've got Mars stationing direct, and Jupiter and Saturn are finally going to move their ass a little bit. So I'm going to break down the degrees. You guys may be able to see, but just pretend this was like the metaphysical weather forecast where I was like, okay, in Sedona, it's like a million fucking degrees. And in Antarctica, it's like negative a million, negative 2 billion, actually. So the sun is at 0 Pisces, like I was telling you. You've got the moon right now, today on Tuesday, the 18th, at about 14 Scorpio, going closer to Sag. We waning. We just had that full moon in Leo, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Because me personally, you have to rip me out the plastic. I feel brand new. And what we got? We got Mercury at 8 Pisces. We got Venus at 8. What the fuck comes after Pisces? Aries. And you've got Cancer Mars at 17 retrograde. Just for a second. Oh, just you wait. Get excited, guys. We got Jupiter at 11 Gemini. Saturn is at 19 Pisces. You got Uranus creeping like Freaky Billy over here at 23 Taurus. You've got Neptune at 28 Pisces, North Node at 28 Pisces as well. So that's of note. North Node conjunct to Neptune. But also you got Pluto at 2 Aquarius. So we move forward 1 week to the 25th, next Tuesday. And to kind of go backwards, because I just feel like doing something strange for change, you're going to see Pluto is not really going to move more than a couple minutes. You'll still have 2 degrees right there. You'll have Neptune still at 28 of Pisces, but it will actually pass over the North Node this week. So a very interesting week, if you really think about that, is that, the North and South Node, they move retrograde. So this week, we're also going to see there's a crossing of the node and Neptune. And I'll break that down in a second when we talk about the Pisces season. You have Uranus still at 23. You've got Saturn moving up like 1 degree to 20. Jupiter's moving to 12, which is 1 degree forward. And that's actually pretty dope. That seems like nothing. It seems very insignificant. But if you have been watching this series for a while, I'll even do this to show you going back a couple weeks. These planets have been very still as of lately, especially Jupiter because of the retrograde cycle, sitting at 11 for like a whole month. So here we go. Full speed ahead. Let's go. And you've got Mars still at 17 Cancer this week at the end, but it's going to be direct. Okay. So that long ass Mars retrograde is gonna be over. We've still got the post shadow. Mars has spent way too much time in Cancer, if I could just keep it straight up with you guys. And I was born with Mars in Cancer, so I love this. This feels like home to me, but man, it's like let's get down to business and defeat the Huns. I'll make a man out of you. You've got Venus moving up to 10 degrees. So that's about like I feel like time's at a standstill, dude. Barely anything's happening for real. And then you got Mercury, of course, moving about to 21. Mercury's the heavy hitter this week. 21 Pisces. So it's gonna cross over Saturn. Let's get down to business and let's defeat the Huns. Okay. I think the Huns already got defeated. Correct me if I'm wrong though. But anyway, happy Pisces season, guys. So when you think about the sun, what do you think about? Let me know in the comments. I don't know what you think. That's what I'm asking you. But when I think about the sun, the first thing I think about is that happy baby off Teletubbies that comes out the sky and he's like, aha, aha. That's kind of what Pisces sun energy feels like to me. The sun is the theme. This is the life we're living. This is our focus. And the focus is very mystical. It's very inner worldly. And I don't know how y'all are feeling, but it's like you might be tired as a motherfucker during the Pisces season. I'm certain. Let me talk my shit. The sun is going over my north node, and I feel like a sleepy guy. And I wonder sometimes, with this universe being so big and the work being so great, like, God, why have you abandoned me? And God said, I'm right here, bro. What the fuck are you talking about? I said, God, why have you given me your hardest battles? And then God said, well, you're my strongest soldier. I said, God, why have you given me the comfiest bed? And God said, you're my sleepiest boy. So that hit something deep inside of me. And Pisces season, I'm going to get great sleep. And I encourage you to do the same. So this season is about dreams. Pay attention to your dreams in Pisces season. I don't know if you guys have recognized this, but for practical purposes, do understand that astrology is a language. The word itself, astrology, is star language, astro, star, logos, language. So I'm reading this book to you, and frankly, I might be illiterate or like dyslexic or acoustic. So just keep an open mind, and maybe you might teach yourself more than I know. I would sure hope so, but I know with some conviction, I don't want to say certainty because I could be like, bro, think about this. This life could be a dream. You might just like be happy, bro. Imagine you, oh goddamn, imagine you had like a little house on the prairie and a white picket fence, and you had like babies, and they grew up, and they were like hanging clothes on the clothesline, and they were playing, and you had horses in the back, and you were farming, and you had a bunch of oats, and you had a happy family, and your wife made you tea, sun tea, and you drank it on the rocking chair, and then you fucking woke up and it was all a dream. Oh Lord, bro, that's crazy. So, can anybody prove that we exist? I don't mean to take it here, but I'm gonna. Like, have you ever doubted everything in your life, at least for a moment, and just been like, damn, do I even exist? And personally, I'm gonna tell you guys, I think I do exist because if I'm doubting my existence, there has to be a me to doubt myself, right? I think. Therefore, I am, and the rest is commentary. So I think the spirit of Pisces is about having fun. Pisces is a water sign, symbolized by the fish. It's feminine, it's intuitive, it's mutable. So this season, this 30 days, and I will say, practically speaking, it's going to be wise for you guys back home listening to pay attention to your chart and see if you have any planets in Pisces or mutable signs or water signs because they're going to be the most heavily affected by the season of Pisces sun. Like I could even give you an example. My Pluto is at 5 degrees of Sagittarius. So like the sun is going to be squaring up with my Pluto pretty soon. Hell, I got planets in Pisces too that'll, be crossed over into the shadow realm. So what's that going to mean? This is where you become astrological detective. This is where you get to have fun really living the tradition of astrology. Okay. But where Pisces is concerned, the language suggests magic. It suggests dreams. It suggests the inner world. It suggests going with the flow. Okay. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. So therefore, it is going to carry some of the energies of every sign prior. This is the most universal of the zodiac signs. And it also has a lot to do with disillusion, dissolving, returning back to wherever the fuck we came from. What does a fish do? Glub glub. Bah, that's not a fish, but swimming in the water, the stream, the ocean, whatever it happens to be, fucking fish tank. You got the fish. And are we fish? No. Eh, well, maybe. Can you prove it? Like, what is a fish? And who said that? Because what a human, I'm so cooked right now, gang. What a human thinks a fish is might not be what God thinks a fish is. But like fish might be like lesser beings to us, be like catching them up and frying them and battering them and shit. But like, as far as like the universe is concerned, we might be fish to the universe, is all I'm trying to say. So, a picture's worth 1,000 words. I hope that means something to you. Pisces says a lot about the inner world. So pay attention to what's going on inside of you. And when you think about everything I've said before, this month will have a lot to say about how do we transcend the self. There's, I think, not a objectively right or wrong way to do it, but when you analyze your life, you can certainly look at your choices as far as, are these empowering choices? Or are they disempowering choices? Like I said, this is a language of archetypes. So you'll see Pisces also corresponds with things like devotion and acts of service and, you know, helping those that are suffering and disenfranchised. But also, this will look like addictions and escape at times or self-sabotage, and I'm just throwing out a lot of the words. So don't think that these all have to relate to each other. But, religion is also a Pisces phenomenon. Your spirituality is a Pisces phenomenon. Imagination is a very Pisces thing. Like I said, dreams. You may think about sleeping dreams, and that's also what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about, even your waking dreams, what you aspire for, what you want to create. And like you are aware of, because I mentioned this, it's a water sign. But I think what's also really interesting, I'm going to draw this as I tell you this, but the signs that are in conjunct a zodiac sign will often have a lot to say about how it's going to work. All right. And that's going to be Leo and Libra. These are the planets that make the in conjunction. So, and you can look at this through any zodiac sign and kind of make this angle, this yod, and just understand that it may not necessarily be the easiest to connect these three energies together. Or I should say really the two, because the sextile base, like the Leo Libra, they go pretty well together. But as far as the 150, and the reason why it's difficult, guys, and like I'm gonna drop some real knowledge on somebody, this can be very useful, is because they differ in element, duplicity, and mode. What do I mean by that? I think someone's getting it, but it's like, you got Pisces, which is mutable water feminine. You got Leo is fixed fire masculine, or Libra is cardinal air masculine. So all of those qualities differ as far as, Pisces and the in conjunct signs. So the point is that when it comes to this season of Pisces, Leo energy is actually very important to remember that you are a creator of this life, okay? To put yourself first. But at the same time, remember, life is about sacrifice. And that in itself plays out like a paradox, doesn't it? So this is where we have to employ a little bit of discernment and a little bit of discipline, where it's important to be contributing, contributing, contributing to the motherfucking world. Real shit. But at the end of the day, you gotta remember that you can't pour from an empty cup. So what's up? Drink some water with your dehydrated ass. And don't lick your lips, bitch. You bet. And I say bitch as a loving, endearing word. I love you. Put some chapstick on and drink some goddamn water. You're beautiful. You're sexy. And you look better with hydrated lips. Okay? Anyway. So Leo energy is about recognizing that you create. But here's the thing, like Pisces is higher powers, external forces. So it's like, where do we draw the line? Prayer is powerful, faith is powerful, but like, what do we pray for? Under what circumstances? Are you praying to a benevolent God? Or are you praying to a predator? That's the question. I don't know the answer because I don't know what you be praying about. Me personally, I pray for clarity. I pray for discernment. I ask Spirit to help me be my best self. I say, let my life be for the best and highest good of all. And that really empowers me. Hope that helps somebody with me saying it. But also on the Libra end, you know, Pisces and Libra is interesting because Libra is about relationships and Pisces is about isolation, right? So there's a whole spectrum with every placement in astrology. And I think a big part of this is going to be about having spiritual connections, and there's literally a part of everybody that's unknowable, right? So this may be somewhat of a conflict when it comes to the Pisces season that many of us may feel alone, may kind of feel isolated. I mean, frankly, I could see it playing out in a different way where some people are going to be really social, have a lot of connections, but they're going to need to go on that mystic path and really devote more time to themselves. You know, Pisces is about fulfillment and, the dissolving of boundaries too. So I think at best, this is going to be spiritual connections and true empathy and equanimity and harmony in relationships. But at worst, this will be disillusion in relationships. In other words, crushed expectations, thinking things are one way and realizing they're not. It could play out like investing way too much time and energy into somebody that's probably a bad idea. Being too self-sacrificing when you don't need to do that, okay? So I can go on and on for days about this Sun in Pisces season. Like I said, we're only going to get about 7 degrees of motion because it's about a degree per day as far as this week is concerned. But just as a forewarning, and I don't know if warning is a good word, as just like a heads up, that's a better word. You know, in the season of Pisces this year, we have the sun going over Saturn eventually and going over Neptune and of course going over the North Node. So this season of Pisces, I'm just letting you know now, is going to be a lot about embracing that mysticism and magic because that's what Pisces is about. But there's going to be a big reality check coming when the sun goes conjunct to Saturn. It's about being stable in your actual life, being responsible. Like, let's get down to business and defeat the fucking Huns, bro. Fuck the Huns. Damn. What do the Huns do? Um, Read about it. If you ever watch Mulan, that movie's a banger. Anyway, you also got the sun crossing over Neptune. So it's like after this reality check, Spirit's going to remind us how beautiful life is in mysterious and mesmerizing ways. All right. And I really just want to reiterate it's going to be wise to really embrace the Saturn energy this month, which is about being responsible. All right. And having correct boundaries, guys. I'm going to keep it 1,000 with you. Pisces is one of the signs that notoriously struggles with boundaries because this is the sign that has a universal consciousness. And what that means is all is one. So if there's only one, there doesn't need to be boundaries because there are none. Hopefully you get what I'm saying. So the point is just you have to understand when enough is enough and when to say no and where things have to stop. Okay. Pisces is also associated with martyrdom, right? And it's great to be of service to the world. That's the Virgo side of Pisces, the opposite, right? It's great to be of service. It's great to make meaningful sacrifices and contribute to the world, but just pay attention how quickly you can move down the pipeline of savior, martyr, victim. Never choose to be a victim, okay? And I'm saying this with compassion, conscience, and there needs to be some nuance to this conversation because fucked up shit does happen. Some people are legitimately victimized, okay? And that sucks. It's unfortunate, but just never choose to make yourself a casualty of life, okay? When that choice is available. And really, I think there's a phenomenon that's called guilt that really does play a part in this. And it's easy to make yourself a martyr when you feel obligated to take care of others and pour yourself out for whatever reason, man. It could be, social and emotional expectations between people, or it could even be ideological, philosophical, and religious, where you may think that it's virtuous to, be a person of charity and contribution. And that makes sense to my reasoning, but enough, you got to know, man, enough has to be enough. So I'm gonna take the chart off and kind of explain some game to you guys because we're talking Pisces, Leo. Before I go into the other placements and aspects of the week, Fire Family, I really want to show you the vision. Okay, there's 4 levels of life, and there's 4 pillars to the good life. Okay, and you maybe want to pay attention to this. That life begins with survival. That's level 1. where you just have to get by. You have to make sure your needs are met. Number two, sustainability. When survival is no longer a challenge, you're sustaining, okay? Number three is success, and that's the attainment of personal goals. And number four is significance, and that's where you start to help others succeed. That's what I'm talking about when I say, contribution in some way, shape, or form. And frankly, we could exist on many different levels at the same time, but just use that as a mind map and like guidelines for your development because it's easy to suffer a lot when you have the calling to be a person of significance, but you haven't even really gotten sustainability or survival mapped out yet, okay? So just know where you are, gang, because it's like I attract inspired people. I attract givers. I attract magicians and things of that nature. So it's like I'm sure you aspire for greatness. So just remember you gotta crawl before you ball. You gotta walk before you run. Okay. And also there's four pillars to the good life, and that's health, wealth, love, and happiness. And I promise if you are healthy, you have some money, you love the world and yourself, and you do what you want to do, you'll want to get as much life as you possibly can. You won't even want to escape it. So just worth knowing. You create this life, and life can absolutely suck at times. Sometimes there's things outside of your control. It might even be the things that you're doing making life suck. So Pisces also has a lot to say about empathy and compassion, okay? Feel your feelings, love yourself. Let's make this a really great month. So getting back to the week ahead, let me show you what's really going on. We've got the waning moon because we just had our full moon in Leo. I think it was on the 12th. Yeah. And me and my brother Christian, we posted a whole video about that. It's on the channel. It should be linked also if you want to see what you know, happened in your chart in your houses. The full moon in Leo that we just had is really about loving yourself. It's about being comfortable with the person you are and making sure that you get the attention that you need, however that plays out. So now we're in the waning moon. We're in this release stage for 2 weeks where we're really gonna take that same energy and really work on embodying it. When the moon is waning, embrace the feminine energy. Feel your feelings, be willing to receive, nurture yourself. So we're gonna have the moon waning down this week, and around Thursday, we're gonna have the moon going to Sagittarius where we have our last quarter phase. And it's wise around the last quarter to see if you got to make any adjustments. And especially in the context of this one, having the full moon in Leo, it's really about getting more comfortable with yourself this week, guys. Okay. And the moon is going to end up around Aquarius at the end of the week. So our new moon in Pisces will be the following week. We'll talk about it on episode 90. It's going to be on the 27th, the new moon in Pisces. Okay. So that's really exciting to look at. And really the new moon in Pisces, which we'll talk more about extensively, is about manifesting your dreams. But just keep it a buck 50 with you. It's about manifesting your dreams. And then also there's something to say about the divine mind and the calling that may just be given assigned to you. Okay. Mercury aspects are pretty interesting this week. Okay. And I want you to know, guys, Mercury, it's the planet of communication. It's the powers of the mind, perception, and our focus. And there's no bad placements in astrology, in my opinion, but I will say, you've got Mercury in its detriment. It's opposite the house and sign it rules. I should say sign more specifically. Because I think most people get this, but let me just also say for the record, because I mentioned house on accident. Like when you're watching these videos, just understand this is local geography. Do not pay attention to the houses unless you live in Missouri or the Midwest or something like that. Okay. Because the houses are going to be different. And, that's a whole nother discussion in general. But anyway, Mercury in Pisces is perceiving the universal truths. It's about a universal lens to look at life through. This could be a fisheye lens, perhaps. And how does a fish fucking think? You ever looked at a fish tank and like tried to, I'm sure I'm not the only one. You ever been to like an aquarium and just stared at a fish and try to like understand what the fuck they think about? Like how its life look for them? Because this is very mesmerizing. Mercury in Pisces. So I will say, you might have some brief downloads and insights, and you just got to make them make sense, basically. Be rational, because there's a lot to take in for Mercury Pisces. Spirit conversations is a really big thing here, guys. And I don't want to tell people what to believe besides believe in your goddamn self or believe in nothing. Because, dude, I don't like being told what to do. So it's like if, bro, I could imagine if I was watching this video and not making it and someone told me to believe in myself, be like, bitch, fuck you. I'm not about to do that just because you told me. Now I'm definitely not going to do it. But Mercury and Pisces energy, it says this is an opportunity to hear the spirit guides better. Oh yeah. And if you're working on that, if you want help with it, the best advice I give people, because I get the question a lot, like, how do I do it? How do I connect with my spirit guides? Like, it sounds so simple. It almost feels redundant, but just ask. Just use your voice. And it might feel weird if you never tried this, but like, it looks like I call to my guides in spirit. Spirit guides, please be with me. I have a question. How does a fish think? And I'm getting kind of like you, bro, but in a tinier body, a little bit slower. It's what it looks like. They think more instinctive, less rational, and they're pretty much stupid compared to the intellect that we have. And you see, that's what I just channeled. And the question is that channeling or is that rationality? And I'll let y'all decide and try that with your spirit conversations. But anyway, you got Mercury square up with Jupiter this week, okay? So that's really interesting because Mercury is left brain, Jupiter is right brain. So you're going to see this week being a great week to really lean into your intuition, to trust your vibes, but at the same time, be mindful that exaggeration could be second nature because the things that we perceive are going to expand with this Jupiter's energy. Okay. So, at best, this week is going to be full of insight and illumination, but at worst, life and situations may easily appear way better or worse than it actually is. Okay. So just watch out for that and just touch grass and make things make sense to yourself. And I feel like, where Mercury's concerned, things happen fast. And you may kind of see like this is a kind of busy week. So it's worth just reminding yourself as you go through this week, just catch your breath and be present. And when I say catch your breath, I mean like literally breathe a little deeper. And I did this. So I'm not saying this as a form of judgment. This has helped me out tremendously. But as far as breathing goes, I'm almost sure someone needs to hear this because I did. Like, stop smoking. That's gonna help you breathe deeper. It sounds redundant as well. Like we all know this, but like as far as living a better life, because we're talking about Pisces season, Pisces sun, the magical times approaching. If you want to bring in more magic in your life, if you want to bring in more love, more peace, you just need more energy, right? That breath of life is the secret, so pollution in the lungs is not going to help. Okay. And I know we talk about moderation being a thing, but there's almost no such thing as moderation for zero sum habits. Okay. I feel like I'm harping, so I'm gonna move on. But anyway, you got Jupiter squaring up with Mercury, or I should say vice versa. And then Mercury's gonna slide into a conjunction with Saturn. So it's kind of interesting because you get the best of both worlds. You get the good cop and the bad cop this week as far as Mercury's concerned. Where starting this week we'll have that square with Jupiter, which is also going to add confidence and expansion and meaning. And I'm getting like the energy. I've seen a lot of these aspects in people. We've experienced this aspect in transit countless times in our lives, even if we haven't realized it. But I'm also hip to Mercury square Jupiter is going to be about wanting to share our knowledge. There will be a thirst for information for a lot of us, but at the same time, depending on how character works for you as a person or for others, you may start to see individuals this week just be really fucking preachy and dogmatic and not listening very well also. So just watch out for that too, man. People trying to flex their mental muscles, they might be stupid, and you're like, okay, like just let them like mental masturbation, bro. It's like in Mars and even in Gemini, goddamn. But anyway, and don't be one of those assholes, man. I mean, like toot your horn if you got to, like, and I would suggest you to do that, like for real. Talk your shit. Like let me bring my Leo out for a second and just want to say talk your motherfucking shit. Like when you understand who you are, when you can validate that through your reasoning, talk your fucking shit, dude. And just make sure you understand delivery. But at the end of the day, like don't be so concerned with others' approval that you forget about your own. Okay? Like when you know what the fuck you're talking about, speak with power and conviction. And just understand the lips of wisdom are closed except to the ears of understanding. And you should not throw your pearls before swine, but don't let that discourage you from throwing your wisdom in front of people that genuinely receive it. If there's like a couple pigs in the crowd, they'd rather eat fucking dirt, you know? And I want to say it's like not everybody's meant to accumulate the same understanding in life too. So that's definitely worth thinking about on this conversation, okay? So Mercury conjunct Saturn, it's a mental reality check. It's about stabilizing the mind. Let me move it forward so I can see. It's really on the end of the week, like Monday, Tuesday. It'll really be like the beginning of this next week. Mars Day would mark 90. So, this kind of speaks about the week being about making life make sense to you, getting strategized, getting strategic is a better word, getting organized. I try to put those words together. So the rest is commentary. The only other thing I could add for that aspect is take time to slow down and have a really careful and picky approach towards your goals and situation in life, okay? And this is probably going to be the attitude regardless. So, I mean, it's funny to think about because, you got the Jupiter square at the majority of this week, and then at the end of this week, it's going to be that Saturn conjunction. So it's like, you know, I think at best, this week is about taking this optimistic, expanded viewpoint and learning how to, you know, build for the future. But at worst, at worst, gang, you know, come next week, people are going to be having to pick up the pieces for all the dumb shit they did this week, okay? But anyway, you got Venus. You got Venus sextile to Jupiter this week, okay? And, Venus is in Aries. And that's about self-love and self-indulgence, which is really beautiful because you have to love yourself in order to fully love someone else. And Venus in Aries is about self-image. Loving your face is what's really showing itself to me the most from this energy. And relating to yourself beautifully. Having and Aries is the first sign, the new beginning in the love journey. Okay, with self and everybody else, And this is about love and passion running parallel, okay? And that's beautiful because it's sexy times right now. Sparks are flying, and you'll be really excited to experience freedom plus romance. But at the same time, at very worst, man, some people will get their love and purpose confused or start to think a relationship is their purpose, and it's not. Like you have to have a life outside of a relationship, fam. I'm sure we've all heard the old adage, the relationship has to be more than 50-50 because 50-50 is just one whole person when there's like two half people. What? If we have 100 plus 100, if both people are like, think about this, if both people are invested 100% in themselves and then they come together, then they have an abundance, then there's actually synchronization. There's the total being worth more than the sum of the parts. Okay. Aries Venus is really about you got to be the one for you, or else nobody will. Okay. Love yourself, accept yourself. And really, what spirit showed me when this ingressed is that love, self love, I should say, is not a binary, it's a continuum. So, what I mean by that is it's not about do I love myself, yes or no? It's to what extent do I love myself? You know, like percentage levels. Like you may love yourself the most when it comes to consistency and discipline and, showing up in your day-to-day life and obligations. You might be 100% and not miss, but, let's say in relationships, you might let people walk all over you. You might bend your integrity. You might not say what you think or feel or try to please others when you subordinate yourself, So you might have like, we might call it like 50% relationship self-love, for instance, just something to think about. So Venus is sextile to Jupiter this week, and that's beautiful, guys. Like this is a beautiful week. Not just because the Pisces season starts, but Venus and Jupiter, these are called the benefics in astrology. And I'm gonna repeat to you guys, like, I don't think any planets are good or bad. I think things just kind of are what they are. But when you look at the archetypes and the ways that they express themselves, Venus and Jupiter are more quote unquote positive or fun, I should say. And then if you were curious, Mars and Saturn are the malefic planets. Traditionally, some include Pluto there, but like at this point, because it's modern astrology, like I think Pluto's good. I'm a Jupiter Pisces person, guys, and a Leo. So like I think it's all good. Like I love life, man, and like I think living is way better than not living. So I don't really subscribe to things being good or bad. But I digress. The point is, Venus is about love and values and beauty, and Jupiter is about blessings and growth. So, you put those together. This week is going to be a very pleasurable week. It's going to be a fun week. Love is going to be in the air. It's going to be a romantic week. This is going to be an abundant week. A lot of money is going to be made this week. A lot of things are going to be acquired. It's going to be exciting. There's going to be deep meaning, great spiritual connection. Okay, so that's dope. But also think about this, because got to take the good with the bad, allegedly, because again, etc. But the point is, you got Venus making a sextile to Jupiter, but you also have Venus making a semi-square to Uranus this week. And while you're going to get some smoothness from the former, the latter might make things kind of abrupt and unstable. And again, I don't think this angle is even good or bad, but it's intense. So, Uranus on Venus could say financial breakthroughs for a lot of people. You may also kind of feel that isolation that I was talking about with Venus Uranus. I'm getting instability in money as well for some, so just be responsible, lean on that Saturn energy. Don't be balling out of your budget. I guess the word, just don't be stupid. Don't be a dumb fish. Be a smart fish, okay? I feel like pictures are worth 1,000 words, and I'm just gonna let you know that this is here. Right? And what y'all think about it is what you think about it. Because ultimately we are in the future still. So only way to predict it is to create it for ourselves. Time will literally tell what this shit means, okay? But anyway, let's talk about the Mars direct. Mars retrograde is ending. And Mars retrogrades happen for like months. And they really give us a chance to slow down and really work on our willpower. While Venus, like we talked about, is a very feminine, receptive energy, Mars is a masculine, projective energy. And this is really amazing because with Mars in Cancer, our focus and orientation is going to be emotional. Okay. And traditionally, Mars does not like Cancer. It doesn't do well. It is exalted in Capricorn. So this is called the fall of Mars, like allegedly the weakest position Mars can be in. Because if you think about assertion and projection and, you know, direction, the emotional world, the inner world, the Cancer energy, it's very unstable. It's very volatile, so this can be difficult for a lot of us. Like me, again, being a Mars Cancer person, I've been pretty chill during this retrograde, but I understand for those that are not me or having a natal Mars in Cancer, like, bro, this has been an ocean of emotion, and a lot of people have been very frustrated. I mean, and for perspective, guys, Mars have been Cancer for like some months, okay? And once we're done with this retrograde this week, there will be about a couple weeks of it, slowly changing directions. Then it's going to pick up speed and fly into Leo pretty quickly. And there's going to be Mars Pluto opposition at that time too. So you're going to want to stay tuned and watch this, and subscribe if you're not, because that's a really important angle to watch out for. We already had it twice last year, so I'm going to keep you up to speed. But anyway, Mars in Cancer, this retrograde is really about removing emotional blockages. And it's also about unifying the family. And I could make a million other conversations about Mars and Cancer energy. It's about emotional sobriety and feeling your feelings and not numbing and hiding them or expecting others to make you feel a certain type of way. The thing about Cancer is ruled by the moon. So this is one of those placements that's so deep, you just have to understand your moon sign and how it's positioned and its aspects and its rulership, and then start to watch the transits and progressions to your moon and love yourself the way you're meant to be loved, okay? But also understand in a more like wide angle lens, Mars going direct is really about getting your power back. Seriously. Because I know we can get really focused on the minutia and the details of Cancer energy, but just understand Mars going direct is about taking your power back. And the question becomes, where have I given it away? And it might not necessarily be a person, place, or thing. It might even just be habits. It might be the way that you direct your energy. Okay. So simply the last message I can give for this one, because I could talk for all day, but I respect your time and mine. Be strong. If strength is a choice and weakness is a choice, what you gonna do? There's no value in choosing weakness, man. Like besides illusions, besides wanting to be a weak baby, be pitied and get sympathy, be a victim. It's like you don't want to be a victim. Get strong. Take your ass to the fucking gym. I'm not playing with you, bitch. You pissed me off. How many times? 89 times I gotta tell you to go to the fucking gym. Go to the goddamn gym, damn it. Oh, I can't go to the gym. I don't have a membership. There's a fucking floor in your house. There's a floor everywhere. This world is your gym. Just get it in somehow, man. I'm saying this because I love you. It's that tough love, this Cancer Mars energy. You complain about all this shit you can change, bro. You're like, I'm so tired. It's like because you don't work and you exercise your body. Damn. And don't overdo it also. Like no ego lifting. Take care of yourself, man. I'm just like, I love y'all so fucking much, bro. But it's a continuum, man. And it's like, it's beyond saying you love yourself. Show that with action. Okay. Have hostility towards apathy. Oh, that's the best message I could give you for Mars and Cancer. Have hostility towards apathy. Apathy is not fucking love. Okay. Ooh, that shit got me hot. Anyway, Jupiter and Saturn are getting their ass going, moving direct. And this is really beautiful, guys, because it's like really full speed ahead right now. You know, Jupiter is the expansion, Saturn's the contraction. So it's about both for growth. You get me? You dig what I'm saying? Jupiter and Gemini just says keep learning, keep studying. Don't get distracted. In order for you to not be distracted, you have to actually understand what your goals are. And this is your life, baby. Buster, my boy. I don't know who I'm talking to. King, Queen, Divine Being, Great Spirit. Some of y'all choose not to identify with anything. So I don't even know if I could say you, but it's life. It's your life and live it to the fullest. Have fun, be happy, be well, and be selectively disengaged, like the very Jupiter Gemini. Be selectively disengaged with the bullshit, okay? Not everything needs your attention, but at the same time, we might have a plethora of interest at this time with Jupiter and Gemini. Saturn and Pisces. I'm gonna kind of wrap this up in the stellium and then leave you guys off to think about this and enjoy your day, okay? But you got Saturn, Neptune, and the North Node all together. And like I said, it's very much North Node Neptune week, okay? So, fam, this really is about answering a calling that comes from within. It is about building your dreams. So, it's as simple as that, but I will just go as far as to say take some time this week to really be still and meditate and connect with yourself because it's an inner journey and the call comes from inside of the house. So, please don't be so distracted, over identified with the external world. We got to be here now for sure. But at the end of the day, you know, everything that you're experiencing, almost everything, was first created in the imagination. The internet, for instance, your goddamn phone, the car, the schools, like imagination is so key, guys. It's our power to create. And it's why we kind of lose sight of it. A lot of us can because you wake up as a baby and you're like, wah, 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 I'm a baby, etc. And the doctor says, shut the fuck up, bitch, slaps you right on the ass. And then he said, we got a live one. And then you suck your thumb for a little bit and you say, wah, wah, you shit yourself. And then you go to the, you get out the crib, you start crawling around, you go to school. And they're like, You can do anything you want. You can do anything you put your mind to. And then you grow up and you're like 5 years old, brother, like, but you can't do that. And you gotta stop running in my house and get off the fucking table. And like, and then and then they're like, what do you want to do? And you can do anything. And you're like, okay, well, I want to be an astronaut. And they're like, be realistic. And they say, well, I want to be a race car driver. They're like, well, definitely not that. And it's like, no son of mine is gay. And you're gonna worship Jesus if you sit in this house. And you're like, oh fuck, they really beat it out of you in this life, bro. It's crazy. So hey, dude, like, hey, you can really damn near do anything. Like, please remember that. Like, I'm sorry if I had to be the one to remind you, but like, you have some free will, and you can. I usually say because I value being ethical, but like, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody, you can manifest damn near anything, do anything. But life will show you if you just look at this world, you can even manifest things that are really bad and do hurt a lot of people. So like, try not to do that. That would be good. If we don't do that, like, please, we can just chill the fuck out. But it's your life, man. So like, if I were you, I just hit the subscribe button, just hit the like button, and I would just tell me what you got in your Pisces constellation, and let me know what you're excited to manifest, or keep it a secret and just show us later. You're gonna show and tell something in the class. You're gonna share with the class. Okay, Mr. Mind with the fire out. Blessed be.